So I played this FPS roguelite game back in 2023. That was early access release. The game was update 0.0. And after my play session, I actually got a really kind message from the devs saying that they enjoyed the experience, wrote down a bunch of feedback, and as a massive Dead Cells fan, they have a lot of plans for this game. Fast forward to 2024, update 0.8, the Synergy update. We're revisiting the game. Also, big thanks to Metric Empire for sponsoring this video. Head down to the description and go ahead and give this a wish list now. I'm gonna show you in this video all the FPS mechanics and roguelite stuff that makes this worth the wish list. Either way, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, Shoddy does some real damage. It's a little scary. Left-hander? Oh my god. Because like it only has the one shot at a time. I'm just gonna like kind of circle strafe here a little bit. Oh, that was a good hit on me. Retaliation. Wow, it does tornadoes apparently. Like kind of awful. I'm always looking for games in this genre, the FPS roguelite, and how to make it a good roguelike experience for people who love the genre, but then also want that high-octane action plus any of the synergies and stuff like that. So the main story of the game is that we are woken up because the Overlords, is what they're calling themselves. Everything's robot related. So these are robot Overlords have taken over the city, and the main city's AI is nowhere to be found. So you, as a shaper, is what you're called, is tasked to take out the Overlords, and you were only just now woken up too, so you've lost most of your abilities. As I said before, this update is called the Synergies update because they've done so much in the game in order to get that real like gameplay feel of a true roguelike experience. Before we really get into how to like turn this into a full roguelike with build making and all that stuff, let's talk about the actual gameplay itself. So as I said, this is an FPS roguelite game. That means you look down the ADS of a gun and then you shoot at enemies. In games like this, you usually have multiple weapons. There's probably some kind of power-ups. And really, that's the part that we would expect from any of the kind of games that are in this genre. So what I look for these FPS roguelites is what sets it apart from the others. So I think in this game, what the dev is trying to do is trying to make like a high action game where the player isn't just shooting, the player needs to make some like risk reward assessments, and that is this takedown system. For every takedown I perform, I can get shielding back. And of course in an FPS game, if you just like circle strafe to kill enemies, eventually you are going to get hit, and if you don't have a way to get your health back, then it's not going to be a good time for anybody. So instead what the devs did in this game is that you have a shield recovery system. Currently, my shield recovery is on takedown. So whenever I get an enemy low enough, I can do my punch and then get a little bit of shielding back. Of course, there's lots of different ways to get shielding, not just the punch I'm doing. But that's just one of the options I have. It's the most reliable one. I think it's the one that you get by default, too. So anytime that like I've taken a bunch of damage, I can try to hang back and like snipe from around the corner. And that's probably not fun for anybody. So instead, you're in this situation where, okay, I might actually be going into combat to do that execute. So I could die in the process if I'm not being careful. So as you see, even though I've taken a decent amount of damage here, I've actually gotten my shielding back to 50%. And after the full map was cleared, we're now 100%. Our character not only has its gun, but also has special abilities. With your adamant core restored to full power, you can now earn the cores of Overlords. Once a new core is acquired, use the suit station to equip it. Continue defeating Overlords to increase your affinity to their cores. This is a big part of the update that we're playing on. We can enhance the core that we have. It's actually a reflect bubble. So now my punch reflects projectiles and does bonus damage. When you reflect a projectile, you gain Fortify. Now the cores are things that you'll be collecting throughout the time that you play the game. It's almost a good idea to think of this as an action roguelite, Roguevania. The game has like some pseudo Roguevania to it. So it's a roguelite game, but I've gotten enhancements thus far. So like this is my first time actually accessing this, which is only available once you get the dash. Shaper Hacks. You may now activate Shaper Hacks at the start of every floor, and upon defeating Overlords, hacks allow you to deploy combat ingredients and active effects that aid you in battle. So you can actually enhance the map itself at random, but only once you actually go in. Deploys power-ups that instantly replenish your dash, forces the next room's reward to be an ability of higher rarity, explosive barrels that inflict vibro damage, deploys power-ups that grant you fortify, force a minor core enhancement to appear. Oh wow, reflective surfaces. For the current floor, all surfaces reflect projectiles. That sounds really, really strong. Overlords also do something similar, where they are buffing the map as soon as you go into it. This right here, this is just the default. And then, almost like a Mega Man situation, you actually choose where you want to go first based on not only the boss, but also what the boss has done to the map. So right now, we have 3 bosses. You can see the Overlord has actually done stuff to the map itself. So like, it'll retaliate with Volt Mines. Barriers will be present in the tower, and those block my bullets, but not the enemy's bullets, which is like kind of toxic. Shredder traps appear frequently throughout the tower. That's part of the roguelike too. It's like, the next time I do this, the arena itself might have like completely different stuff in it. We only just happen to have the shredder traps right now. So as you progress through, you'll find different secrets that you can find. You can go into hidden areas, and then of course the power-ups themselves are gonna make you a lot stronger to fight these bosses. The whole point was to be able to add like more options to the player to make what amounts to be a build. And for any action roguelike, getting the build is probably the most entertaining part for most people. Echo Waves reflects multiple waves of energy, grants rapid fire on use, max 5. I will take this. However, there's another new mechanic that I just unlocked, which is part of this Synergy update. I can extract modifier. And what that does is it allows me to put Surge on use onto my new ability. So now it does both the rapid fire and the surge on use. Okay, so we have a new ability. Plasma Blast also grants rapid fire on use. These things do have levels to them. I'm going to extract, and now this thing has 2 uses of the rapid fire. Pulse Grenade, level 5. Is it time to swap? It might be. Oh wait, I actually kept my enhancement. Oh, okay, I thought those would actually be lost. Interesting. So do I need rapid fire? Can you get more than one? Gain 2 rapid fire certainly looks like it. Interesting, interesting. All of the new stuff for the Synergy update, like putting affixes onto different items, there's definitely a lot of things you can do with that system. So I'm really excited to see like what's possible there. I like the monster design. Like, it's hard to do robots and mecha in really any game, I think. And if you can do it, I think that's like a major skill. Okay, I can't do some reflects, but I just ate so much damage. I don't know if that gave me iframes. Ooh, a lot of reflects just then. We need shield. Okay, the punch reflect is actually kind of sick, but I don't think I got the shielding. That's it. Dang, ugh. I was wasting my dash. Now I say roguelike, but it's also a roguelite, similar to a Dead Cells or something like that. We have a bunch of unlocks in here. I've already unlocked multiple things at this point. Some of this stuff is game altering, I will say. So it's not just weapons or like HP up. There's quite a bit in there that you do want to take advantage of. So yeah, that gives you an overview for Battle Shapers. FPS roguelite game. Lots of build defining decisions besides just aiming down the sights of a gun and shooting. There's even some Roguevania in here where you have to get unlocks in order to take it to like some kind of jump puzzle that you've never done before. So there's really, really interesting stuff in here, and I can't wait to see what else the devs have in mind, because again, this is only early access, update 0.8. So they're definitely cooking if they have ideas like this. If you want to know more about the game, click the link below. Also, give it a wish list. Devs love it when you wishlist their games, and I love it too if you can do it from my own channel. We play these kind of games all the time, action roguelike specifically. If you like this and the other kind of games we play, leave a like on the video, subscribe if you want to see more. I'm gonna show a couple of highlights for the last build I have. It's focused on things like Fury, Fire, and Shock. It actually does quite a bit, so you'll get to see me go through a couple of bosses this way. Greater hacks. Liberating towers lets you activate powerful greater hacks that will remain in effect until the end of the current run. This I've also never seen before. As a roguelike game, not only are you trying to just get good guns that do good effects, we're also able to sort of like enhance the map itself. We saw that with the minor hacks being able to do like extra jump pads or explosive barrels. But here, I can get more money when I recycle. Burning enemies take double damage from Vibro, which is currently my E button. And then you have a 20% chance to not lose a combo buff, which is my Fortify, my Haste, all of that kind of stuff. I have no guarantee that we're gonna keep either the Burning or the Vibro. So like having more of these stats could be like really, really strong, I think. Oh wow, jump pads grant Fury when used. Fury increases the damage of all of our weapons and abilities. That, it sounds fun. It's probably not what I'm supposed to do, but that sounds incredibly entertaining. And then I have a 20% chance for those not to fall off. The new gun is actually kind of sick. 100 damage crits. Previously, my Pyro was doing like 6 damage at best. And I still have like a little bit of a ways to do fire because I get a Pyro missile. Another buff to our Fury, so even if I happen to not get the refresh, we actually only lose 1 stack at a time. So you can kind of see we're going for a full Fury setup. That's not what I thought I was gonna do when I initially loaded it up, but this is actually working out very well. Is this another wall jump requirement? It has to be. That's like really interesting to me. Alright. Platforming like that is not what was on my bingo board, but still very, very fun. Beacon capture. Defeat all nearby foes before attempting to capture the beacon. Another new mechanic that I've never seen before. Stand inside the zone. And some monsters can like sort of spawn in here at the same time. Ooh, these are explosive. Did I make a mistake? Plus retaliation. If we get tornadoes, okay, I was gonna say if we get tornadoes in here, I'm gonna scream. I don't know if this is like the intended way to play it, but I'm gonna extract because I want that multi-shot and I want it here. So now this thing fires triple bullets. And I don't know if I've ever actually seen that before, but that is like pretty compelling gameplay from a roguelike perspective. So I mean, I feel pretty strong for this boss. We also get our resonance things here. I think the boss itself is stronger than the first time I saw it, only because it's like the second tier for the run. All right, we've beaten this before, we can do it again. This thing's in the air though, so I'm a little worried on our ability to do my E button. I am getting the crits. Unfortunately, it's gonna be a little difficult for us to get Fury. I can reflect, so we do get some Fury from that. We get Fury from Fortify. I don't know if I can reflect tornadoes, to be perfectly honest. Does not appear to be the case. That was me trying to dash in to get 1 stack. Because I do reflect on dash. Okay. I mean, that works. Ow. Didn't time it properly. Okay, this is big tornadoes incoming. Sort of bullet hell. Retaliation, really? Oh my god. You gotta get rid of that. Okay. So, I have lost quite a bit of life. I can get one takedown. I think we'll be in good shape. Alright, there we go. We got some shielding back. Fortify is actually doing a great job. I'm actually up to 8 Fury. While losing, like, everything that was really giving us a ton of instant Fury. Wow. So, I've actually done this boss before, so claim your prize. I'm actually using the core right now, I believe. So what is my prize? Unlocks the ability to equip the Wind core at the suit station. Shock has a chance to do pyro. Burning enemies gain additional stacks of shock. Wow. Is that like literally what our build is right now? So as you can clearly see, a lot of things have changed since the very beginning of the run up until this point. I kind of want to say as a roguelite game, it kind of all started off with our one ability, which is our core. And this is just my primary core. Apparently we can get a secondary now, but this is only due to the fact that I have this one primary, which reflects bullets and grant us both Fury and Fortify. So out of everything that we've done thus far, the core activates twice. Every time it reflects, we get Fortify. But then we have all of this stuff that's based on the Fury. From just the core by itself, we have Fortify. When it falls off, we actually get Fury from it. We also brought in the fact that we only lose 1 stack of Fury at a time. Usually the entire thing falls off at once, but now we have a way to keep Fury for longer. But then not only that, because those are the only like passive ways we get Fury, on my left-hand weapon, we permanently get Fury on critical hit. Anytime I actually swap out this weapon, in fact, I could swap between these two weapons and I'll still always have a way to get Fury on critical hit. Of course, some weapons may not crit as easily as others, so having the Fury generation from all the Fortify and Reflect makes up for missing out on crits, or I may have to swap weapons into the Plasma Carbine. But then on top of all of that, all of those pieces come together, we have done 2 greater hacks on the actual run itself. First off, I have a 20% chance to not even lose the combat buff in the first place. So once I get to a high amount of Fury, we only lose 1 at a time, and it's a 20% chance to not lose it at all. And then finally, we were able to pick up some kind of damage buff here. So anytime we do shock, we also inflict pyro, and then burning enemies get a stack of shock. That works well with our 2 weapons that we have, the shock rifle and the plasma carbine. So now we have options to scale those up, while we also do all of this Fury and Fortify stuff. Either way, as a FPS roguelite, it's very fun stuff. Even as I go into my next area, I get the chance to, for example, add another core enhancer to make us even stronger, or get some combat regen if I think I need that. So if that's something you think you're interested in, leave the game a wish list. It's only early access right now with all of this stuff, so we have more development that's coming up. I believe the corruption update is the next one on the list for the roadmap. The link for wishlisting the game is down in the description of the video. And then once you've done that, go ahead and leave a comment letting me know what you think. Either way, happy that you could check this out with me. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you on the next video.